Hello everyone. In today's class we are going to see the differences between collision and trigger. This is a very common subject in videos, but sometimes we need to explain further details in order to prevent some common mistakes in Unity projects. Unit physics consists of layers, and these layers can collide with other layers. Okay, the default layer configuration collision seems like this in Unity, and we can change this by creating more layers and creating more collisions. But in today's class we are not changing the default. Okay, we are just showing you how to detect triggers and colliders. So in previous classes we have seen what objects are, layers, and triggers and rigid bodies. In today's class we are only using triggers and rigid bodies to detect collision. Okay, so beginning with colliders, we have seen box collider, capsule collider, and sphere collider in previous videos. Uh, as you can see, there are a lot more collider types. Some are 3D, some are 2D. In our projects, we are only using 3D colliders. Okay. So after choosing your geometric collision type, like a box collider, which is a cube. Okay, it has three axes like X, Y, and Z, or Z in the British accent. Uh, you can choose a material, right? In this case, the material chosen is bouncy, like a ball, for instance. It's a box collider, but it will bounce like a rubber ball, right? Uh, you can choose the center of this collider if it's centered to a regular cube, but it can be offset to the right or to the left. And the size of this collider. We are going to see this directly on Unity. So we have this project we are working on for some time. As you can see, we have three cubes. The red one, which represents a campfire, the green one, which represents a medkit, and the blue one for testing the collision with rigid bodies. Okay, so as you can see, these green lines represent the box collider we have. If you uncheck box collider, it is going to disappear. Okay, so uh, as I was explaining, you can offset this collider, right? Now it's not centered to the cube, okay, in three different axes, and you can improve the size. This means something approaching this cube is going to collide with this green box before reaching the blue one. Okay, so this can be used as approaching an NPC to start a dialogue or some other feature of your game. Okay, we have this cube with a rigid body and two other ones without a rigid body. They have only the box collider. When you create a cube, they come already with a box collider. Okay, this one has a material, wood, and the other two uh, they have no material. Okay, because they are trigger. We are going to explain in the next slides. So as we have studied in the previous videos, we have this gun that shoots projectiles, okay, bullets, and these bullets can collide with stuff. Here we have this collision happening, but we have no messages. And here we are pushing the cube forward. This is the difference I was talking about. When you shoot something with a HD body, they have reaction, almost like real life physics. Okay, so in the class we have this collider, but the cube is going forward, but we have some we want to show some message or to inflict some damage to the enemy or something, as we have done before. So we have methods for this, right? We are going to see these methods further. In objects with colliders checked as triggers, as you have seen, the bullet is going to go through this object, okay? So if you want something to go through, like a ghost going through a wall or a bullet going through your enemy, you need to check its trigger. If you want to objects to collide, like a ball hitting the wall and coming back, you uncheck its trigger, and you need to have a rigid body. Okay, so as you can see here, a rigid body can use gravity. This means 9.8 force coming up down is forcing your object through the ground. If you uncheck this means you are like in the space. If you have some force being applied to your object, this object is going to fly away like in the moon, right? Its kinematic is used more in objects we are going to control using the keyboard or the joystick. Okay, so we are not going further in these advanced details because we have more classes with a specific subject for collision detection and artificial intelligence, right? So the methods I was talking about are on collision enter for colliders. So if you do not have is trigger check, you have this method, right? This signature method, receiving this parameter and printing this. If you have is trigger check, you are going to use this method, is trigger enter, right? This means when the object enter the object this script is attached to, we are going to call this Unity is going to call this method. So let's open Unit and create this script, right? Let's call it bullet, and we have the bullet here, right? And we are going to attach this script to the bullet. So simply drag here, and now let's edit this bullet script on Visual Studio. I'm going to increase the letter size for you. We don't need these two methods for now. On collision enter, right? This is the method we want right now, and let's print to check what's happening. So I have my game object dot name, which is the bullet, as we know. Collide with, let's check which object our bullet is colliding with. So collision dot game object dot name. And the other method we have is on trigger enter, right? So print game object dot name, which is our bullet, trigger and the other object is other.gameObject.name. So as we know, we have a red cube, which is trigger. We have a green cube, which is trigger, and we have a blue cube, which is not is trigger. Okay, our bullet is not is trigger as well. So when we hit play, we can see this bullet is colliding with this, but it's going through. Let's check our console, right? Fire, which is our campfire, the red cube. After it, it goes through and hit the terrain. Now I'm hitting the medkit, right? And it goes through and hits the terrain as well. And now when I hit the blue one, it's going forward, and as you can see, we are hitting a cube rigid body, okay? And it's going forward with the force applied to the body. So this is what I had for this class today. If you have any question, you can send me an email, and in the next videos we are going to apply damage to our enemies using this same script you have created today.